There is literally only one foundational difference between the girls who are skinny and maintain that and stay that way compared to women who feel like they're in a perpetual process of losing weight and gaining it back over and over and over again, feeling like that they can never actually maintain a goal weight that they get to. And it all comes down to long-term habit changes. For example, the first time that I lost weight, it was part of the process of not being able to maintain it because the way that I did it wasn't sustainable. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those fitness nutrition coaches on the internet that think every single process of this has to be so sustainable and that you can't have discipline and you can't be really strict with yourself, because there's also a time and place for habits like that. When I refer back to the first time I lost weight, I was literally running like 6 to 8 miles per day. I was extremely restrictive with food, never letting myself give in to my cravings with sweets. Definitely was not eating enough protein, so I wasn't even feeling full and satisfied throughout the day at all. I genuinely woke up hating the routine that I was in and hating and dreading the things that I was having to do in order to see the scale drop. Now, when we compare that to the second time I lost weight where I've actually maintained it for years, the measures that I was taking were fundamentally the same, right? I was exercising every day. I was eating in a calorie deficit. I was paying attention to not overindulging in like sweets or things that were really calorically dense. But I was forming those habits into things I knew that could be a lifestyle change for me. When I started focusing on that as a foundation of my routine, that's when the scale started dropping, but I was enjoying my life day to day. When you're in a calorie deficit, when you're working out, when you're striving towards weight loss, but you genuinely can look at your day and realize that it's not the worst thing and you don't wake up dreading doing it, that is such a good key indicator to you that you're going to be able to be somebody who does maintain your weight loss successfully after you hit that goal number that you have. But if you're listening to this video and you identify with the first part where you're like, actually me trying to lose weight is absolutely miserable, you're probably missing a lot of things that are going to make this easier on you and that you need to be implementing, because it's just going to be so much better for you in the long term when you break out of that cycle of perpetually losing, gaining. The things that have been the most fundamental for me in this process that have helped me really maintain my weight long term is being conscious about my calorie intake, reverse dieting after a calorie deficit so that you're slowly increasing your calories over time until you get back to your maintenance calories. In my opinion, this is even more important for mindset purposes so that you get into a habit and a routine of knowing what maintenance feels like and knowing what it feels like day to day to be at a calorie intake where your body just stays the same. When you get experience under your belt doing that, you're going to have an idea also about what intuitive eating feels like whenever you're maintaining. That way, when you know what that feels like and you have evidence of doing that day to day, you can shift into instances where you're eating out or you're having social events or you're going on vacation. And you can maintain those fundamental habits that you built of picking high protein options, eating until you're full and satisfied, not overindulging, portion controlling when needed. And those things become more natural without you having to put everything into an app if you don't want to. But you need to be attempting weight loss in a way where it feels like those habits can carry over, and if they're not, and if you wake up every day second guessing how sustainable your routine is, then you probably really need to take an in-depth look at what you're doing and fix it.